Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode, I forgot to look up the number, of the Juggernaut Wargaming podcast. I am here with me. I'm Toph, hello. And I'm here with Spurlie. And we have got friend of the podcast, guest host for the first time ever,
Alan.
Oh.
You'll know Alan if you've you'll know Alan if you've seen him in an airport because.
Wait. I prepared for this moment. Alan! Friends of the cast, Alan. Everyone knows who Alan is, but like, if you because we've spoken about you for what, as long as we've known you, 7-8 years now.
Yeah.
You've been like the off-camera member of the cast, almost.
Not one step back was my first time I met you guys. So yeah.
Proper OG then, right from the old days, yeah. I lost count of how many we went up to before I stopped doing it anyway.
It was 7, I won it. That's why I remember.
There you
go. That's why we stopped it, because the world had ended. Like, we're done. Yeah. He came, he saw, he conquered, and we can end it there.
Seems to be a theme. Anyway. It was the same with Greg as well, wasn't it? You know, he wrote
that's true that. Yeah, there is a pattern. The moment someone wins it off questionable notes, that's it. We're done. We'll turn it off. Yeah, okay.
So
how are we anyway, gentlemen?
Warm.
Warm.
Leaking.
It's not as warm as it has been.
No. It's actually better doing it tonight than last night, I think. It was...
I too like post-apocalyptic temperatures, and walking around in the UK it's as hot as, like, you know, the Florida Everglades. But
I'd have been if this was like last night or even one of the nights in the week, I'd have been doing this in skins. I would not have a shirt on. Yeah.
I very much enjoyed Legoland in 34 degrees last week. That was tasty.
34, mate. That was cold. It was warmer when we were there the day before. It was a roasting.
Yeah. You can cope with the heat, Alan?
Well, this is the only white shirt I own, so I've been wearing this a lot lately.
So I don't own one. I have one white t-shirt, and there's spirit. I'm a wargamer and a nerd. Black is the way forward.
Yeah.
It's the only way we go.
100%.
So, topic of conversation. WTC was last month. No, this month.
It was still
3
this
weeks
month.
ago at the time of recording.
Still this month.
Yes. For one day left, it was this month. And I guess anyone who's been on not been living under the rock on this, there's been videos on it, podcasts on it, from everyone who went and competed, and now we're going to
and from people that didn't,
people from people who did attend and people who didn't attend. Either way, we're about to give you our perspective, because we ran it. We were the TOs, weren't we, Spurlie? Plus Lars.
Yeah.
Lars is off doing Lars. He's probably fiddling with apps somewhere. But me and Spurlie, we ran, and Alan, you attended it, so
yeah.
You can come and provide your third-party neutral Toph, that was stupid bullshit perspective, and we'll all go, that's a good perspective to have, Adam. Thank you for keeping us in line. But so before we go in, do you want to start with like what general vibes? Because we're just going to walk through what happened from start to finish, and basically the story will start in Sheffield. So before we do, any opening thoughts? I guess previous WTCs, I guess, would be the starting point.
Yeah, I would be. What do you want? Running them, or do we want Alan to?
I guess let's start with what is the WTC, right? For people who've not been listening, WTC World Team Bolt Action World Team Championships.
Yeah.
Run by the IGE Organisation International Game Events, headed by Mr. Dave Nolan, which is basically the World Team Championships, where every country sends a number of teams, who all go to compete in a team tournament to be crowned the best team in the world.
Yeah, and it covers, so IGE covers Bolt Action, Star Wars Legion, and Middle Earth. So
yeah. And we've covered it on this podcast a couple of times. I used to go to compete. Obviously now step back home, now TO in it.
Yeah.
I always make the joke that it's the disposable income championships, because it tends to be the players that can afford to keep going on international gaming trips, which is not a luxury afforded to many. And it bounces around the country. So we've previously done it in Poland, we've done it in Ireland, we've done it in Spain, we've done it in England, and as of this year, we all went to Copenhagen. So
which is in Denmark, seeing as you've gone country, and then capital city, just to make sure
I'm winging it.
There are people.
I'm winging it, whatever.
There are people like James watching, and he probably doesn't even remember where he was, because I think he had quite a bit on the Friday to drink. Yeah, it was a good time. Good time.
That's a Team England tradition, isn't it, Alan? Just getting wankered and then kind of forgetting what game you're playing.
I was too drunk to even make it to the setup, so
Yeah,
that's very true. Actually, when we was all sitting up on the Friday night, where's Alan? At the bar, drinking £8 pints.
I was in.
He was on bottles of wine. I remember he was drinking bottles of wine.
Not Friday night, because
did you not Friday night?
We had that the Lord Nelson where we had a discount. So we went there to imbibe the local hospitality.
That's it.
It's a cheap discount. Yes. There's a definite economical factor that we cannot disregard here.
Yeah, we never made it to the Lord Nelson, did we? You and Lars, we went out and had a civilised meal, and then went back to the hall and started setting up.
Yeah. Spoiler alert: we were busy as fuck.
Yeah, in Copenhagen for 4 days, and we probably saw 4 hours of it.
Yeah. So our story then at TO. Let's start off with Sheffield. End of 2025. Well, in May 2025, we went to compete in England. I was on the England team then. We did shockingly bad because Phil shat himself. So there was a player down on the Sunday. So we didn't do great, but it's fine. I got absolutely rattled on Sunday. Had a great time.
Yeah.
And Dave accosted me and was like, Toph, I need you to run the Bolt Action WTC for me. I was very hesitant because I was like, I kind of like playing, and I also kind of don't want to betray my teammates. Rich in particular, I was scared for my life, basically, because Rich was like, don't be a dirty traitor.
I think Rich could certainly make someone disappear, I would say.
Yes. Yeah, he has been military trained, so I'm assuming he remembers at least enough of it to kind of knock people out.
Yeah, disappearing of people. Yeah,
exactly. But I had a hard negotiation with Dave, and the hard negotiation, I had two rules for me to jump ship to TO. First one was to get my own hotel room, my own bed.
Yeah.
Standard, I ain't sharing rooms. I'm too old for that now.
Yeah.
Get over it. No, want me a room. And
that hurt me actually. Out of everybody, that hurt me the most.
That did hurt you. Yeah, but you should stop being a loud snoring git in the hotel room.
Talk to Luke. I don't snore on tour, apparently.
Plus, you know how badly I sleep away from home.
Yeah.
How messed up, how busy that weekend was. I needed my own room. That didn't become a want anymore. That was a requirement. And the other one was I want rivers tables to be made. I want rivers.
Yeah.
Did I get rivers? Not rivers still on the cards, ladies and gentlemen. That bit's still on the
horizon,
on the to-do list. on the horizon. So first step, and then and also in that bar in Sheffield, we also grabbed Lars. Because I first met, my first game with Lars that day. He was a good lad. I was like, Lars, come be a TO with us. And he was like, oh, that sounds like fun. And further mistakes that Lars made that we will get into. This is going to be the episode of mistakes that Lars made, basically.
You know what they say, though? Those who can't win the WTC, TO it, isn't it? That's the saying.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Don't worry, Alan, you'll be joining us soon. Soon.
No, it's fine. I'm just thinking, didn't Lars win the second Granada according to his wife who she's watching?
Isn't that wasn't that wooden spoon, I believe?
He turned the table upside down allegedly.
Okay, fair. Hey, there was many scoring mistakes that weekend, so maybe Lars was one of them. Who knows? So, me, Spurlie, and Lars head together. Right. How we're gonna TO this thing? And traditionally, the WTC, obviously, you release a pack, you send a pack out, and everyone across the world then builds their list, and it kind of tweaks it a little bit every single year.
Yeah,
it's always a little bit different. If nothing else, to stop you bringing the same list back every single time, because what's good and what's not will change each year.
Yeah,
last year was the first V3.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Event this year.
Yeah.
Last year, this one was obviously going to be the second WTC for V3, so we had a bit more of an idea of what we wanted to stop, what we wanted to include, etc. So we had some brief discussion in the bar with anyone who would listen. What would you like to see? What would you like to do? And I promptly ignored all of them and went with my ideas, because my ideas are great.
Yeah. I'm sure they are.
See, that was Alan's opportunity to jump in there, and he didn't take it, so clearly I'm right.
I mean,
how did you find list building? That's the thing. How did you find the pack and everything?
The pack was fine. I don't mind changes to a pack. I don't like too many changes to the pack. So you picked a pack that screwed over my own army selection plans because I wanted to. I used engineers as my infantry at that point.
Yeah.
So I ended up going away from flamethrowers and just ran paras. And then the rest of the world ran paras, which was really irritating.
There's definitely a theme there. Definitely a theme.
Yeah. But because the scenarios were basic, it was fine. It was the army selection was a bit complex. Scenarios were good.
Yeah. So what we went with after a fair bit of discussion between me, Spurlie, and Lars, we went with 50% of all of your points needs to go on rifle platoons. The understanding was that we actually wanted people to bring armies that looked like armies. From what we had seen at that point during V3 was that it was a race to the bottom in terms of min-maxing. What can I do with to get my basic rifleman platoon out of the way and then spam all the shit I do want?
How can I get more than 10 tanks in an army? I think was the big thing. Pretty much.
That's at least from what we had seen. We also limited platoon choices across the entire team. So each team had 4 of each platoon choice. So sure, you could have one player could bring, say, the 10 tanks, but if he did, he would jeopardize his other players. One, it meant some limitation in, so everyone's not just spamming tanks. And 2, it gave something for your team to talk to each other about and actually plan, working out what you wanted to do stuff with. That's always exciting. And we did a rule of 5 as well, no more than 5 of a single unit, other than infantry, because, again, tank spam. Yeah. And I know Alex hates me for that one. I know that really grinds his gears, and I don't give a shit. Do not care at all. If you need more than 5 of something to win, maybe you're not that good. Maybe it's the thing you're spamming. Maybe. Just a thought. Didn't get that many.
TKS then, cats.
I never had more than 5. I've only got 4 of them, which is a perfectly reasonable number.
Yeah.
I don't think we got that much negative feedback on the pack, to be honest. Suppose you pick up on any grumps and moans?
Just the general ones of like people going, "Oh, I can't believe you're limiting me to 5," or I don't understand the like it. Well, yeah, it actually came more down into the actual list building. It's like, is a company commander part of your rifle platoon? No, he's not, and little bits like that.
And I guess because it will come later as well, it was 1250 points, and we did not impose a dice limit. We merely put in the pack that you are expected to be able to bring a list that you can finish yourself.
Yeah.
We'll revisit that topic later.
Yeah.
We'll loop round to that. We'll table that.
Yeah.
Car park it, whatever corporate buzzword you want to use. We'll revisit that motion.
Yeah.
Other things we did is we have a living FAQ for WTC. Basically, but Warlord has their FAQ, and we're very grateful for that. However, it doesn't answer every problem, every question that every wargamer might potentially have about Bolt Action. Also, we're playing with what it was in the end. It was how many teams? 20 teams. A lot of teams from all over Europe, and 30 teams from all over the world. People read things differently. People translate things differently. People have very marvelous interpretations of the rules. We tried to get ahead of it as much as possible. So we took last year's living FAQ. We went through it. We chopped and changed it. Liked that bit, didn't like that bit. Added a load of new stuff, and that was probably an 8-month project.
Yeah, well, the Warlord FAQ is regularly inconsistent as to how often it comes out, isn't it? So sometimes you'll get 2 in 2 months, and then we'll see nothing for 6 or 7. So, and with the new books coming out, we needed to keep up with the new hot mess, as I'll call it. and there's some rulings as well, like the infamous tank charging through rough ground one as well. Yeah. Which, if anything, the FAQ causes more arguments than it ever solved. So, like, we as a TO team, we need to come up with an answer, right? And it almost doesn't matter what we come up with. Because 50% of people will
someone's
disagree.
Gonna be angry. Someone's going to be wrong. Exactly. So we had to go, right, get it on paper, get it written down. Yeah. And in the end, this was a 10, 12-page document. It had a freaking contents on it. It was that specific. Yeah. But we did it in advance, and we got all the captains, hey, send your questions in so that we can answer them in advance, so we don't have to answer them on the day. Yeah. Even to the point where we had to clarify, how do you shoot a man? How much of a man needs to be present on the base? What do you do when a man's lying down? Like, all these things that you normally you never ask, because you just play like normal human beings and gentlemen. Yet gamers, especially at a tournament, it's their opportunity to become, I don't know, the most argumentative fucks you've ever met.
Well, that one about how...
That did actually come up in one of my games, though, so that was a good one.
Yeah.
Was it a good one? Yeah, I'll take that.
That was when the Japanese box set released, and you'd got the guys modelled in their little foxholes, so all they had was their head showing, and it was basically just a base that you pushed around the board. It was like, well, of course, nobody's ever going to see it, so he's always in cover, or he needed something of like somebody would have modelled their entire army with just heads sticking out of bases, and I don't know if this wound you up as well, Spade, but it really wound me up how, you know, in the Discord with all the captains chat, we would have massive discussions about potential rules abuses and the way things work, and how if you did this very specific thing, it would have that very specific outcome, and isn't that the worst thing ever? And then come list submission, no one did it anyway. So while we're moaning that's the same year on year. Last year it was the Consumalette spam. There was everybody was in uproar that all we're going to do is turn up, and there's just going to be 40,000 Consumalettes on every table. And then when it came down to it, the only team that brought the massive Consumalette list were the team that were crying the loudest about it. So... And they did. Wait
a minute. That one captain at the time was another Alan. Alan. Yeah. There's clearly something in the water.
But Alan was only captain because Bo's not American enough. So.
Yeah. Oh, that was a new rule for this year that Dave put in. He got stricter on country requirements that you had to be. You couldn't pretend to be another nationality.
No mercenaries.
No mercenaries.
Unless you only had 3 people on the French team, in which case then you could have the Danish player.
Yeah. So, Alan, I'm really sorry that you had to be British and you couldn't pretend to be Dutch this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got to be honest, that first WTC playing for the Dutch was awesome. Loved that year. Yeah. Really good.
Do you prefer playing for the Netherlands or England? Just saying.
Really, actually, hard question. It's kind of on a par.
It's upsetting that it's a hard question. Actually, no, I'm not Team England anymore. That doesn't bother me at all. Do what you want.
But because I spent that year playing with the Dutch, it's meant that, you know, I go over to the Netherlands twice a year to their tournaments. I'm playing European players way more often than I'm actually playing English players because I only have a few weekends a year I can go. So I'd rather do a war game tourism.
If you've got a free weekend, go big or go home. Yeah.
All right, so
makes sense. He's too good for us now, Spurlie.
And also, well, it's like the Dutch team are just much more laid back. I bet. You know, there's a reputation around Holland and the Netherlands.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. A couple of them have got a couple of them give me a run for the money over the weekend, calling me over to their table, Danny. Just
couldn't guess that was the name coming out.
He's lovely. He's lovely. I would not have a bad word said about him. So basically, all the run up, we had pure chaos of trying to get everyone aligned to make sure we're playing the same way, answering stupid questions like how does cover work, because again, different translations work, different interpretations work, and our philosophy as a TO team was try and get as much answered up front, so then that creates less confusion and less headaches that we have to do on the day, because some questions take days for us to answer. Because we have to go and look all the rule books, look at the FAQs, have a discussion, how's it interpreted, pick up the Oxford Dictionary, what does that word mean? And something we should just be a yes or no. Really hard in the moment to come up with on the fly, so we want to do as much work as we could possible.
Yeah.
And then it was list submission, 120 lists. We got.
No. We got 150
lists.
150 because there was 5 lists. Had 5 lists, yeah. And so I'll talk about this bit now. List submissions.
I'll pour myself a drink.
Yeah. Probably the worst thing about the whole event as a TO is receiving 150 lists and having to check them. And when they come in 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 different formats, because everybody either wants to use this app, wants to use that app. I'll do it myself on Word, but obviously that's going to be different to how you're doing it on Word. I'll do it on Excel. I'll do it on... And it just means every list takes half an hour plus to check. So we came up with a spreadsheet template that meant everybody's lists were standardised in how they appeared to try and make list checking more fluid, easier. For 50% of what we were looking for, it worked. It was great for telling us whether rifle platoon limits had been met and just the 4 platoon limits had been met. But then the way people filled out probably the details differed massively from one team to another. And so they probably became a bit too fluid and things slipped through gaps. I'm
going to stand up for ourselves, right? Yeah. Because we did get a bit of flack back from list mistakes getting through the net. And there was mistakes through the net. None of
them made it to the weekend.
No, we caught everyone in time. But it was me, and Lars. We were merely 3 people checking 150 lists, and we spent 3-4 evenings going through them, and each evening
we spent 36 plus man hours on it.
But obviously once you release them to the internet, every team has got that one savant who is the list man, who's going to go through it like an iron comb, and then you got people on the internet who aren't even going, who are going to go through it, and obviously then it all comes out as it always does in the public. And there was only one major one that really got through, which was one person broke the rule of 5. Which we didn't realise because they different unit names from one entry. Yeah. But we fixed it. It was all good. Yeah, most of the errors were just typos. Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't. What's your thoughts on this, Alan? Though, for next year, we might just not check them, and just release all the lists and go off to the internet and go fix them. But if they're checking our homework anyway, why don't we just utilise the community to check them? You have to go through that anyway.
I summarised like all the lists for our team, so I was that person going through them. The only thing I found minorly irritating was that because you had the chart with all the different platoons on it, some people went down, some people went across.
Yeah,
it's just like.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, that wasn't good for us either.
No, we hated that.
Other than that, it was fine because I knew the game well enough that I think with the only exception of bizarrely Bo's list because he hadn't put extra armor on the sheet for his Stuart. So I was thinking, they're not A+. What are you talking about? But no, there was. He paid the points. It just wasn't there, so it wasn't an issue.
And that's what most of the problems were, right? It was, I paid for this, but I didn't list my options properly. Yeah. There was one or two complaints we got that the lists weren't specific enough because they didn't list like rifles and that they didn't list that the Hanomag has got a machine gun. At this point, I'm like, it's not for us to spoon feed you what the lists contain, right? If you're going to the WCC, you need to know that Hanomag has a machine gun. I'm really sorry, but that's just the way the game works. But so yeah, there was some mistakes, but I'm not crying over it. It's on the day, lists were fine. I didn't have a single person running over to me going, "Oh, my opponent's list is illegal."
Yeah, there was none of that. So
that's
a good
I'm
start.
assuming Lars is the same because we spoke without each other.
Yeah.
The way through. So, anything else that happened beforehand we want to cover before we get on to the actual weekend?
Tables, or is this going to be part of the actual weekend? The setup
is this pre, or is this?
This is.
We can talk about the terrain. So terrain is a really difficult one because it doesn't matter how much terrain you have, how little terrain you have, what type of terrain you have, the quality of terrain you have. People are going to moan anyway. People are going to tell you it's too open. People are going to tell you it's not open enough. People are going to tell you that's perfect. People are going to tell you that's awful. And then you put pictures on the internet, and then the internet's just going to hit the roof about it anyway.
Yeah, it was the
pictures versus, So the WTC has, would it be fair to say, had a bit of a reputation for inconsistent terrain?
Yes.
I'm trying to be as diplomatic as I can.
Yeah.
Which is a real shame because Dave put such a lot of effort into the terrain. It's all hand painted by him for the most part, all hand printed by him. So his part, he's got a print farm he set up in his garage, and his poor wife has to, for 11 months of the year, has to basically lose the conservatory because it's full of terrain boxes.
Yeah.
So a lot of effort goes into them, and bless his soul as well. Dave absolutely goes 150% into each board, trying to get the theme right. Right, what is this board? Oh, this is downtown Cairo. Oh, that is a Normandy village. Do you know what I mean? And then dickheads like me come along and go, well, that's not very competitive. So it's a really difficult balancing act. This was easily the biggest WTC by far with 30 teams. So obviously we had to have a massive step up with terrain, which means me and Spurlie were also painting terrain as well as everything else. So I hope you liked all those tents. They were nicely dry brushed, weren't they?
Yeah.
Hope you liked those buildings with the red roofs and the church. They were nicely dry brushed. Those barricades, they were nicely dry brushed. Me and Spurlie did a lot of dry brushing.
Yeah, we did.
So much that Spurlie has now learned
how to dry
brush.
Yeah. How to dry brush terrain effectively. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Dave managed to lose 8 mats in a fire as well.
Yeah,
because
Dave
these
had
things
the fire.
can only happen with the IG. So which meant on the Tuesday beforehand, because he has a big van to drive over to Copenhagen World Train it, he had to drop at my house to borrow some mats off club.
Yeah.
It's pure chaos that happens behind the scenes that you just think, it's a miracle the event goes ahead at all. Frankly, how it all aligns, I don't know.
But I would say every event is like that,
Yeah.
There's not an event out there where, like, not just in Bolt Action, just in everything. Everything. The last, 5% is just chaos. So, yeah, it wasn't as bad as it could have been, for sure.
Yeah. So, Dave had boxes of terrain, and each set of 4 boards, because the way WC works is you have 4 tables that are all identically set up, so that when your team is playing another team, you're all, no matter who's playing who, you're all playing on the same table.
Yeah.
That's the theory anyway. In practice, obviously, Dave is not a competitive gamer in the same way that, say, I am. Whilst he clearly does a good job running the WTC. There's a reason he gets people like me and Spurlie and Lars on board to do the actual TO and day-to-days, because we run TOs far more. We have a lot more experience in these sort of things. So Dave will come up with a wonderful theme. Like, this is a pyramid board in Egypt. I'll be like, that's amazing, Dave. Doesn't work for X, Y, and Z. Or maybe it's too busy. Maybe it's not busy enough. Maybe there's not the right fire lines. You know, in my opinion, as someone who runs events. So part of our job is saying, right, yeah, we've got the terrain. The terrain is vaguely in this vibe, vaguely in this theme. How do we then convert it into an actual usable table? And that we can't do until the day, really, because when we're looking at terrain, oh, this is a box of tents. There's 30 tents in here. That's not a board. That's just a box of 30 tents. It's not until you get it all out on the table and see it that you can then go, oh, that's how it should work and stuff. Yeah. So Dave, to his credit, he does try and come up with like terrain maps and stuff, but it was all a bit, we'll wait and see and find out exactly how these things
The terrain
work.
maps worked well for getting terrain on the table.
Yeah.
So just in a consistent fashion, so that then it made tweaking the tables a lot easier. So well, definitely 2 big thumbs up for Dave for that. Yeah. Because it also as well meant that we weren't doing everything, because you could give the map and the boxes to a couple of people and they knew what they were building.
Yeah.
What did you think of the maps, Alan?
Yeah.
I didn't see them. I was in a bar.
You was just
there we go. Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
So, our flight was at 6 o'clock in the morning at Stansted.
Yes, bright and early.
So if you know the schedule, we got on the plane and then they were kind of like, "Whoops, sorry guys, plane broke." So we had to move. But they were like, "Plane broke, but not 100% broke. We tried to fix plane. We sat there, and then they're like, nah, plane broke." It's like, ah! What, they took 30, 40 minutes to get actually in the air?
There was, it was when we were on the plane, and it was like, right, we're going to need to take some time to assess how long it's going to take us to assess how long it's going to take us to repair the problem. And then they came back, and it was like, right, we've assessed how long it's going to take us to assess the repair.
That is what's wrong with our country.
It might take us 15 minutes to assess how long it's going to take to repair the problem. And then after so we ended up taking off at the same time we should have landed in Copenhagen.
Yeah. And also to backtrack, obviously 6 a.m. scheduled flight. That's from Stansted near London. If you know me and Spurlie, we live in Leicester, which is a good 2 hours north. So we needed to leave at 1 in the morning. If you also know anything about me, I suffer from insomnia. Sleep does not come easy to me. So I had a serious debate. Do I try and get some sleep or go, fuck it, and we just go motoring through?
Yeah,
I did decide, no, I'm gonna try and go to bed early. Couple of things scuppered that. The first one was my co-host Spurlie having a giant fanny about how packed the suitcase was, and freaking him out so much he had to drive over at 7 o'clock on the evening before to weigh the bag with me, because he didn't trust us to do it in the morning.
No, we would never have done it at 1 o'clock in the morning outside my house.
At what point can I say, I told you so? It was fine.
It was only fine when I came across, and you weighed your bag, and then you were just like, oh yeah, maybe I should take out this like 2 kilo of a card game that I put in there. We had 200 grams each way to spare, so I think it was justified in the end. And then when you picked up your suitcase and you were like, well, this is a plastic suitcase. This is going to be weigh less than your fabric one. And it weighed 3 times as much. So.
Oh, whatever. Anyway, finally got Spurlie out of my house. That was fine.
Yeah.
Went to bed. And actually, no, because at that point, my neighbour was using a chainsaw. Or at least I thought it was a chainsaw, and he was cutting trees down in his garden. Try sleeping with that. Actually, it wasn't a chainsaw, though. He was cutting slabs with a stone saw.
Oh, it's a still saw.
So, no, whatever it was. Yeah. Either way, I got no sleep. And then at that point, and then it finally shuts off, and I'm like, you know when you know you want to sleep, but you can't? I don't know if you guys have this, so you're just wired. It's like, I have 4 hours until I need to leave. I have 3 hours till I need to leave. I have 2 hours till I need to leave. In the end, I just didn't get any sleep. I ended up left at the house 45 minutes early. I went and got myself a Big Mac a strawberry milkshake at like
and then parked outside my house eating it.
And then just parked outside Spurs' house. Spurs like, why is Toph here early? Because Toph can't sleep. Toph's here early. So at this point, I was already, and obviously, so I'd been all the way up through Thursday, and now I was going to Friday, no sleep. Got on a plane. That didn't work. Well, we got to. What time did we land in Copenhagen? It was about 11 o'clock.
Bit earlier, 10:30.
Yeah, 10:30. Got through security, got the bags, went to the train station area, got confused of what train to got on, stood there looking at signs for what felt like an eternity. I don't even know. Wasn't it Kieran who worked out which way we're supposed to go? Thank you, Warlord, for sending Kieran. We'd have never got to the venue.
Kieran.
For Kieran. Finally got on a train. And then got off at the venue, walked in at, that was about 11:30 at that point, wasn't it? Where we finally met with Dave. Yeah. I met with Dave with a van that was full, and the first job was unload the van. The venue was a sports hall, which we didn't have access to technically until 9 o'clock that night. There was a little unloading area at the back we could take everything out, so we could unload the van, take all the mats out and everything, but we couldn't actually start setting up until 9 o'clock. That night, which is a good job too, because just unloading the vans and setting all the mats out, that took a good 3 hours or so, because we didn't actually get free until 5 o'clock.
Yeah, something like that, didn't we? Yeah, we went.
Just moving boxes and shit. So, and we got to enjoy 2 hours of Copenhagen on Friday night.
Yes.
2 hours.
Yes.
Luckily, because we have Lars with us and Lars lives in Copenhagen, we had our own guide. It was amazing.
Yeah, he took us to Ballymore.
Nijhaven, and we got some food, and I decided it was very pretty. Checked into the hotel as well. Spurlie pissed me off at this point. Royally pissed me off. Actually, I don't think I've been as angry as Spurlie with you as I. This was my. You pissed me off a couple of times in our friendship, but this one took the freaking biscuit.
To start with, it was quite innocent, but through a series of unfortunate events, it became the worst thing I've ever done to Toph in his life.
At this point, I've been awake for 36 hours or something like that. It's been a long day and no sleep before. We got there, it's been hot, you've been travelling, you're moving boxes, you're frustrated because you know you've got a long night ahead of you still. You've not had a chance to actually see Copenhagen. All your England friends are off getting pissed and drinking wine. You can't go and hang out with them because you've got work to do. And then we finally get to the hotel room, and then Spurlie's room, he's got to share a room with another TO, which he's very salty about because I've got my own room, and he's somewhere on the second or third floor. He's on the peasant floor.
Second floor.
I'm on the second floor, like an absolute legend. And Spurlie is a salty little bitch who can't get over it. Yeah. So when we go into the lift, as he's getting out, he goes, "Bye, Toph," and hits every single button on the fucking lift. At this point, I fucking hate you. Oh, for fuck's sake, Spurlie, you knobhead. And Spurlie just saunters off. Happy as Larry, dickhead.
Yeah, I had a great time, at that point.
We go up one floor, and I'm thinking it's going to take forever. One floor, and then a Danish family steps in. 2 little girls and their mum and their dad step in. And then it's going up one. And then one. And they're like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "I'm really sorry, my friend's a dickhead." And we go all the way up through the numbers to number 7, where I get out and I'm just like, "Sorry," walk out, and then I go in and get into my hotel room, and I just think, shit, my bag's downstairs with Spurlie's. I go back downstairs him, knock on Spurlie's door. At this point, Spurlie's like, "Hi, Toph," I'm like, "Give me my fucking bag."
He did. As I'm going to say, he did not look happy.
I was like, you know, at the point where you just snap, you're just done. And actually, if I wasn't like sleep deprived and shattered, I'd have probably found it funny, but not then. I was so livid. Took the bag, fuck off.
Yeah.
Had a shower, got sorted. Anyway, back to the venue. 9 o'clock's there. Time to get all the tables out, all the boards out, everything out. We had to we wanted to go to bed at that time that night, and obviously we've only got it's only 3 hours till midnight, so we're a bit time sensitive.
We managed to get in early though, didn't we? We actually got started on our hall at 8 because nobody turned up to actually use the hall. So it was booked from 8 till 9, And by
Yeah.
8:15, nobody had turned up, so we went, yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah. Luckily, thank you, Wargamers. We did receive a lot of help. Not from Alan, he was drunk, but we did receive help from other teams and
Tell you
others.
what, we've got to
up and stuff.
give big props to Richard, because he wanted to help so much, he got fined for not buying a ticket on the Metro. That's how much he wanted to get to us. Yeah, he got fined big time.
I missed that story.
Yeah.
What a twat. Oh, he's not buying tickets for?
Well, he bought a ticket, but when you buy them on your phone, they're timed, so you have like an hour and a half where it's valid for. But he thought he'd bought a ticket that lasted all day.
Whoops.
And the same had happened, I think, to Aaron from the Australia team, and Aaron just I think walked off saying, "Oh, my phone's dead," so he couldn't show anything.
Two more of the English players literally jumped off the train because we pulled into a station just before the ticket inspector got to us, because the train had arrived and most of us had tickets because we'd bought those passes when we first arrived, and they were buying individual tickets, so they got off seconds ahead of getting a fine.
Thank you, England boys, for putting our best foot forward and showing the national spirit and pride as we jump tickets.
Yeah, classy.
Stay classy. We got all the foldable tables out, got them spaced up as best of our ability. I think the overall layout was it was okay. Yeah. I think going back, we could have left more gaps between. You know how we had 4 tables, we could have gone 2 and 2 with a gap in between, which some people did move the tables throughout the weekend. We had plenty of space to do it, but I think we were just trying to focus on getting the tables out.
Yeah.
At all. That said, though, venue lovely. Nice and airy, lots of room, didn't stink, game of fun, non-existent. Had a nice area in front of the table where you could go out and play ping pong and all that shit. Obviously, Alan, you would have seen more of that side of the table than of the venue than we did, because we were just stuck in the hall the whole weekend. What was your thoughts?
The venue was great. I mean, I loved it. I loved the space around tables. The only minor quibble, as I'm old, is I would have quite liked high seats around the tables, so I could have actually, because all the tables we had were really high, so sort of be a bar stool kind of level seat would have been amazing for me, but that's personal ancientness.
Well, this is it. Well,
that's Lars' fault. We'll blame Lars for that one.
Well, this is the thing. The tables actually, you could set them up in 2 levels, right? Tall and short. And we had the debate, right? We got which one are gamers going to want, and we erred on gamers are probably going to want it to be standing height, not sitting height. So I'm very sorry, Alan. I looked at the greater good when I made that decision.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, outside was lovely because there's also sort of a beer garden area out there. So we were sitting out there, and it meant the smokers could sit out with us as well. It was just a really civilized area, and I really enjoyed it. And the food that was available in the little cafe there was good too.
Yeah,
and that was charity run as well. I think even though David told them we're running an event on the Saturday, as with most times this happens, it's not just happens at like WTCs where people don't quite work out how big it's going to be, and then they kind of get hit by 100 gamers and go, oh shit. So on the Sunday they were like, right, we need more people, which means on the Sunday they actually managed to walk around with a little trolley, which I saw a lot of people utilising for mid gamer snacks. Yeah. Love a good trolley. So that was good. And table. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, Lars has said you could have stole one of the high chairs from out the front if you'd have wanted.
So, there you go. We'll know for next time. So we got table set up, got all the terrain onto the tables. At that point, we kind of gave gamers, here's a mission, there's a map, there's a terrain, go and try and vaguely set it up. Our plan, our thoughts was we was going to get all the terrain out. We would then go around and micromanage one table to be perfect, and then get the rest to copy that first one. And this is the one where the idea is you have 4 identical tables, right? But in practice, that is never going to happen, ever. Things move, things change. The terrain. Dave thought he packed everything. We're missing a terrain piece. Well, we need to change the whole thing now. There's always going to be a situation where the terrains aren't exactly perfect. But if you can get them at least close enough, then you can have 4 games that are pretty much the same. There was a couple of times I'd have to tell people to get them out. I was like, don't sweat it. Just get it as close as you can, dude. Don't Don't worry about it. And there was a couple of tables that were really infamous at this point, like the pyramid table. Looked amazing. They're already contemplating, like, this is not playable. And I'm like, give me a moment, I will try and fix it.
It was the fact that one of the giant pyramids was solely in one quarter of the table to start with.
Yeah. So if you're going to play sectors, that's your fault.
Yeah.
What, a giant pyramid in a corner? I mean, that doesn't sound familiar at all.
No.
No,
We've learned from our past mistakes, Alan.
Yeah. It was the Cairo
that
table.
Cairo board, man.
It was the fact that we had people comment on it saying that it was too open. I don't. Yeah, not from the event, from the photos going, this is too open, and then also people going, there's no sight lines. You can't shoot across the board. It's like, well, actually, if you walk along the table, there are a lot of lines of fire on that board.
It's really tricky because Dave's obviously vision for that board was downtown Cairo, which is a very dense suburban battlefield. But when you try and put that on a table that someone's actually got to put their figures on and play, how do you balance that, right? Because you want to create a dense table which feels claustrophobic as a town centre would, which isn't also going to wreck your game. It's like, so we got all the terrain out, sent everyone away, but we held back and I'd like to give a shout out to the Australia team. It was Aaron and it was Jackson, and Bo stayed late as well. So they stayed with us till midnight, going around micromanaging these tables. So they sacrificed, and the Australian guys were also jet lagged to fuck like we were. So shout out to you boys. And we went round as a group, table by table, and we went, right, here's the group of 4. Let's look at the one on the end. Let's all 4. So it was me, Spurlie, Lars, Bo, Aaron, and Jackson as well. We all looked around and went, right, let's make this table work. Beep-de-bobbity-boo, cool. We're approved, sign off, match it, move on. And we did that around each and every table. So there's definitely some tables where the layouts weren't perfect, 100%. But I think in the time that we were given, with the options available, I, again, tap myself on the back, I think we did an all right job. So like the pyramid board, we put the pyramids so that is in the middle, so it wouldn't impact one person over. And we did put more scatter terrain on there as well.
Yeah.
Craters, rubble, stuff like that. So you did have some bits to hide behind. Did you actually play on the pyramid board, Alan?
No, I didn't.
No, okay.
I played
Classy,
the Cairo, I didn't do that one.
Okay. I've heard enough people moaning about the pyramid board, but this is the thing. The idea is you've got a load of different types of terrain. Some more open, some more closed.
Yeah.
You know, trying to get that balance. I stood staring at that Cairo board for a good 20 minutes going, how the fuck do I fix this?
Yeah.
In the end, my solution was keep the buildings and the ruins, but then clump them.
Yeah.
So you'd have like 4 buildings like right next to each other, just so there's actually more space in between the buildings for you to put your models down and stuff. So the idea was that it's still busy, but leaves you enough room to actually maneuver your models. You did play on that board. How bad was it?
So when I saw it, my first thought was I would love to play this at a campaign tournament because this is an amazing board to play on. In all honesty, a mixture of my opponent's list, my list, that board gave me the softest win of the weekend. Because we were playing Fog of War and my opponent had artillery. So I just brought on powers behind, killed 3 artillery pieces.
But you know what, that's the way sometimes you get fucked by a mission and board combo, right?
Yeah,
it's just the way it goes, you know.
So that game, I killed 3 guns. I foobarred one of my power squads off the table. I won 3-1. That was the game. We were done in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
WTC, everybody, yeah. But overall, I mean, hopefully it wasn't the worst table in the world.
Yeah.
No, on the other missions, it would have probably been a lot more interesting. But for Fog of War, when my opponent had the list he had, it wasn't great.
Newsflash, I don't think we're going to do Fog of War next year. We've tried it twice in different ways. We did it last WTC, they did it, and they did literally by the book. This year we did it with a couple of limitations. It still didn't really work. We're going to just stop trying. Like, I know it's like, oh yeah, obviously it doesn't work. Why do you keep trying? But you need to actually try these things for them to fail rather than just assuming one way or another. But I'm comfortable saying Fog of War is unplayable at this level of event now.
Yeah, it's in the bin now. It's yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good to have in some ways because it stops the gun line.
Yeah.
Because the gun line dies to it, as was proven in my game.
Yeah.
But at the same time...
But the thing, there was so many games that I saw on that round, just like you, Alan, where it's either a draw or it's like a 2-1 because people just go, well, I just don't want to engage with you because it's not worth the risk of opening up your board edge. So it's just like, well, what's the point?
Yeah.
Nobody.
The disappointing thing for me is that nobody, or not many people, used the sides. It was just...
There were sides?
Yeah. Nobody wanted to use the sides.
But this is the thing, why would you? The moment you use another board edge, you're opening up someone coming up your rear, and it's like, I ain't doing that. And everyone, when both players are doing that, no one's going to use it at all. And that's the limitation we'd done to stop the ridiculousness of people going one, all in the same area.
The caterpillar,
you can't win with it, so we're just going to bin it. Is there any other boards you did like playing on, Alan?
First board I played up when I played Denmark 1, that was about board 5. It was sort of a French village with a church in the sort of castle thing in the middle.
I'm trying to remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that not the first table?
No, it might have been, but it was the one I played Bow on.
Okay.
Really good board, kind of enough terrain, but open at the same time. And that was a really close game. Initiative dice probably decided that one overall, but that's the game.
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah. Any you thought weren't great? Careful now.
So
you're live on camera.
And I won on both of them. Obviously, Cairo.
Yeah.
I didn't like the Tent City either because, again, my opponent did not have a chance in that game.
Do you reckon there's something to be said, though, for, like... I know you do this sort of thing because it's just the way your mind works, which is when you're building your list is actually thinking what sort of terrain is it going to work on? Because I think a lot of people just think, well, what's the best thing ever? Let me just take all of that. Like, oh, artillery is great, bam, 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 bam. And then they run up against something like a high terrain board and go, oh.
Yeah.
You know.
So, I mean, I lost the game because the board was way too open. My game against the Netherlands, he got lucky hits in earlier. I failed a couple of morale checks, and it never got better for me. So, the open boards, I lost games because of open boards. I won games because of close boards, but that's what you'd expect at a top tournament.
Do you want to know a secret about that tent board?
Yeah.
About 5 o'clock on the Saturday, Dave came up to me with about 4 boxes of terrain and went, why'd you not put this out? And was like, because we didn't know it existed, Dave. And that was more terrain for the tent board.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been even heavier. I think I won that from like 15-4.
Yeah, well, you know, but basically, you know, all the like the ruins and the rubble piles they had for the
it was the
tent board. Yeah, it was loads of barrels and stuff to
barrels. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing. When we were trying to sort it all out on the Friday night, it's all chaos because it was all loaded into a truck just a few hours earlier, and then we're all getting out. Where's everything? We don't know. Everything's been mixed up together. Oh, that's supposed to be for Middle Earth. That's supposed to be for Star Wars Legion. Which size mat is that? Blah 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 blah. Oh, it was. Thank you to Bo for bringing 2 sets of tables in, and then having at least one part of the hall we didn't need to worry about because he smashed it. His tables were lovely.
Yeah. Which ones were his?
So you know, in the
14
far
and
left
15.
corner, 14 and 15. So it was like they were like vaguely foresty boards with some smattering of like bits and bobs.
One of them had a random train cart in the middle of it, which some people on the internet had some things to say about that. So.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed, one thing we made sure we did when we setting the boards, we always made sure that there was at least some rough ground in the middle of either side of the board around the 2-foot mark, just so when you was playing breakout that you or you couldn't run off in a single turn. Don't know if anyone spotted that, but that's something we thought about.
Yep, that was really obvious when I played breakout. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. I am glad.
Yeah.
Are you upset that it stopped you?
No, because my opponent had more dice than me, so I had to blockade him doing it. But
okay. It's another thing for next year. I might just say you need to go off your opponent's board edge, not DZE.
Yeah, that's a simple fix for that.
Yeah.
Do you say you can still enter from your DZE, but you can only exit from a board edge?
Sure, why not?
There you go.
Sure. Either way, you're not doing the.
This is on video, so this is documented now. So people will
Yeah.
remember this next year when it's not in the pack, and they'll go, "I think you'll find when you were talking to Alan, you said this was going to happen."
And then I will say past Toph is a dickhead and present Toph is the one true Toph that you should listen to. The only person who's more of a dickhead than past Toph is future Toph.
Yeah.
And historically, Toph has never been, completely and utterly consistent with what he said to me.
No,
No.
no. It's a really easy place to be because you can never be wrong. Never accountable either, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Who needs accountability in this day and age? So all that was done, and we was back in our hotel rooms for, well, we then had one drink in the bar, didn't we, as we all kind of went.
Yeah.
So I don't think we actually got up to the room till 1 a.m.
No, it was earlier than that.
Was it? It felt like 1
on
a.m.
on the first night.
On the Friday night. Yeah.
Yeah, the Friday night was earlier than that. The Saturday night was when we had the drink in the bar. Friday night we just went back.
Was it?
Yeah.
I'm losing the will. Okay then.
Yeah.
And then, well, whatever time, first time for sleep
Yeah.
ever. I did finally get some, and was back up and in the hall for 7 o'clock in the morning. Getting everything ready. First thing we did is we told everyone who's not competing to get the hell out of the hall.
Yeah.
Which I know will upset some people. And they're coming in, oh, hello. No, stay out. Because we didn't want, you'll see this from past WTCs.
Yeah.
People come in and they'll start spying. And, what's the table looking like? What's people doing? I was like, no, I don't want any of that. You can wait until we've done captain's meeting. You can all come in at once like a big human wave.
Yeah.
Did captain's meeting. Everyone was on their best behaviour. Reminded everyone, dice bag etiquette. Hand out, put it in. Always good to see. Reminded people,
Yeah.
of how the TO process works. How we reminded people about slow play. And basically, the rule is make sure you call the TO before problems happen. Yeah. We'd also been quite clear as well in that, and I'd like to hear your perspective on this, Alan, as well, is that obviously we're going to get asked a lot of questions. Yes, we'll have a rulebook on us. We don't have time to sit there and look through every single FAQ, every single permutation, flick back and forth a page, which means if you ask a question, we're going to give you an answer there and then to get your game moving again. We were quite open up front. It might not even necessarily be the right answer in that instance, but we're going to get your game moving again. So if you want to have a question, if you have a problem with your opponent, make sure you're talking to your opponent. Make sure you're looking at your rulebook. Make sure that you're, getting these things in advance. Because by the time you call us over, we're just going to get the game moving again. Obviously, we're not just going to make stuff up. We're going to have the rulebook on, but we're not going to sit there going through back and back and back, because some of these questions can take years to answer.
Yeah.
By and large, captains were okay with it. What's your thoughts on that philosophy of TOing, Alan?
I think it was fine. I mean, I think I spoke to all three of you at various points, but they were generally, can I get a neutral opinion on this line of sight? Because it's a really borderline call.
Yep.
We just don't know. Once it was clarifying one of the rules from the FAQ, and I knew the answer, but my opponent did not believe I could see over a Bren carrier to charge.
Yeah.
So that was a slightly controversial moment, but you clarified that beforehand.
I answered that one.
Was that one yours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
TO bias, favoritism, shut him down.
You said this because it was Lars would do all the English teams. I played 4 Danish teams this weekend.
Yes.
6 games, 4 Danish teams. There was no neutral there.
To be fair, we were very lucky, at least from my perspective, that Team England didn't do that well. I was very happy that on the Sunday, I think it was 5th round, I happily bounded over to England one table and went, I have deemed it by myself that you guys are not at much of a risk at winning, that I can
yeah, that you can do it, yeah.
And they were like, thanks, Toph. I was like, you're very welcome. If they would be on the top table.
Yeah.
Against
Wales, swung it.
Yeah, I think they had a similar, it's like what happened last year in Sheffield. Once you know you're out, everything becomes a lot easier. There's one recurring thing. Everyone has so obviously we had 3 rows of 5 big match tables at the event. The top 5, ooh, that's the danger zone. That's spicy.
Yeah, they're the spicy tables.
The bottom 10, mate, loving life. most fun you'll ever have. Couldn't give a shit. The moment you went into the top 5, ooh, spicy time. You don't want to be in the spicy time. You want to lose and be in the fun time. That's my top tip. If you WTC next year, it's way more fun to lose than it is to win.
In Sheffield, it got a bit silly for us because I was captaining England free. And we had sucked in our first 2 games and lost both games. And then we submarined perfectly. So we ended up playing the Welsh in game 6. And if the games above us went our way, we suddenly stuck into 3rd. It was just like, pressure? What the hell? No! We're cruising.
Yeah.
And we came 5th overall, but it was just like this moment of, what do you mean we might make the podium? This is unexpected.
I do like that.
Yeah.
In the final standings, all 3 England teams got the exact same score. They took very different routes to get there. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Why even bother having 1, 2, 3? Just fuck it. Just have them all the same.
And it came down to kill points between the 3 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair.
Well, you mentioned scoring, Toph. Did you want to talk about the app?
Oh, the app. This was like the new thing. To be fair, Lars gets a lot of credit for this. And he deserves it because he did the 90% of the work on it.
Yeah.
But Spurlie, you kicked off the whole thing. So you're like the Steve Jobs. If Lars is the wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like you're the brainchild.
I'm more the surrogate mother. You know.
Okay.
I went on ChatGPT and said, "Can you write me something to do this?" And it gave me something, and then I sent it over to Lars and said, "Lars, can you have a look at this?" And then when Lars came back, he basically turned my 1988 Austin Metro into a Bugatti Veyron. It was just, yeah.
So for everyone in listener land, if you're a TO, you will know that the biggest pain in the backside is getting scores and at the end of the round, getting them all into your spreadsheet or your app or whatever you're using or your pen and paper, divvying them all up, getting them all worked out, and then getting them sent back out to the players so then you know where people are playing next round. Lars developed the app so that it did it all for us.
Everything.
The idea being
brilliant.
the score sheets you could take a picture of, upload it into the app. It would then take your scores and put it into our score sheet for you. If the sheet didn't go right, you could just type them in instead, and we still got to keep a copy of the paper in case it all went wrong. It didn't go wrong. It's exciting. We then on the TO side could just hit a button and then just go generate a whole load of new rounds, and also you could then see a live update of where you were as a team, and because it was a public link, people at home could watch as well where people were. I think it was a bit of a smashing success. Frankly,
He took my turd and he put it under so much heat and pressure that a diamond came out the other end. It was.
And again, it's like we did find a few bugs. There was a few scores that were going wrong and a display wrong, but we had 120 play testers who were able to find bugs and stuff. I think Lars loaded 3 or 4 new versions during the event because he'd be like, "Oh, I've just found a problem." There's at one point where he was ringing his wife and being like, "Go on my computer, load up the program, load up Python, can you just typing enable, and the wife's like, and his wife's like, "What?"
Yeah.
This is like the shit we do behind the scenes. And he's already, literally the day after we landed, he's already doing another version for next year. Man needs to chill out. Lars, I love you, but chill the fuck out and just take a break. Only downsides for me was the app didn't take into account which table you played on.
That had dropped out.
It was a pain in the backside for us. It was supposed to do it. That was a bug. We weren't brave enough to try and fix it.
Yeah. It was in the original version, but through iterations, that code had fallen by the wayside, it would seem. So that has already been updated for version 2. So there will also be there's not running around changing table numbers, so people actually know where they're going still.
To make sure people hadn't played on the same table, if the app was putting people on a table that they already played on, we went with the very highly technical skill of ran round the hall and swapped the table numbers over. So, table 1 is suddenly that one there.
And even that didn't work all the time, did it? Then
it didn't work all the
then
time.
we went to
No,
the very, very technical thing of turning to the table next to the table that somebody already played on and goes, have you two teams played on that table? And they go, no. And we go, right, everyone swap. It was...
Yeah. And another problem we thought is that you could go in and edit scores after the round had finished. They didn't close themselves off. We had one incident of
that wasn't edited.
Was that not
the last round? Somebody put
was
scores
editing...
in on Saturday night for round 1 Sunday morning.
Yeah.
So
that was a thing we had to fix. The only other nice to have is it was really nice for you guys to be able to see your scores, but it also took a lot of the fun away when you knew who won the moment the round 6 ended, because you just looked on the app.
Well, that's something that's also
like a hide score button. Yeah,
that's been put in already by Lars. That it's public until the end of round 5, and then basically the table goes offline for round 6.
Yeah.
I thought it was quite funny because only about half the teams knew you could do that. So the England players were the ones who actually went over and told the Poles they'd won.
The Poles didn't know
they'd won.
Oh my god!
They should have get the gobshot.
I think Alex went over and told them.
Oh, Alex! Oh, dickhead.
It's always so awkward when somebody congratulates you for something you don't even know you've done. It's like, I just played Bolt Action.
Yeah. It's when people say, well done, you've got a really nice podcast. So what? I just chat shit and record it, and then some people listen to it. That's all that happens. I don't freaking have any skills or talent. Yeah. Spurs the brains of the operation, not me.
And if I'm the brains, then that says a lot, doesn't it?
Well, exactly, yeah.
This Tim Pop podcast doesn't get itself on Facebook Live, does it?
Yeah. What's your overall thoughts of the app anyway, Alan? Step in the right direction? I know there was a couple of grumbles from oldies going, me no good with technology. Ironically, a certain famous YouTuber really struggled to use an app, which I find hilarious because he's a YouTuber. And you'd think you'd be better at technology. Apparently, some technology offers.
I liked it.
Yeah.
The only thing in hindsight, and you fixed that during it, would have been because we're all thick. Tell us we had to keep the teams in the same order. So England 2 on one side, Denmark 1 on the other side. Let's keep it straight down in one line.
Yeah.
If that had been highlighted beforehand, I wouldn't have seen any issues at all.
That was highlighted in the captain's briefing. So
was it?
Yeah.
I can't even remember.
Okay.
Lars definitely said Team A on one side, Team B on the other. Who is Charlie?
Blame your captain.
Was it Charlie?
To be fair, I don't know if we actually were any of the problem teams, but I didn't know it was a thing. So he might have just been making sure it was right. And
I never. There was actually the only time we had a problem like that wasn't because they put different players different sides. It was they put both teams completely the wrong way around. So what should have been Team A, they'd put in Team B's column, and what should have been Team B, they'd put in Team A's column.
Right.
But that was it. With having the paper copy and then having that they could adjust everything, but then also we had the admin access to adjust what we needed to. It was an easy fix at the end of the day.
No good thing. As Warlord were there, Kieran obviously was watching the event and stuff. He was very interested in the app. He was like, "Oh, that's really exciting." I was like, "Warlord have already got an app. You should add this to your app." And he was like, "Ooh." I was like, "Warlord, Lars, go and talk and do stuff."
Yeah.
So in 16 years' time, something will come out be amazing. Probably not anytime soon. So don't get excited.
I can't help but notice the moment we start talking about Charlie, he's just started watching. That's
Hi, Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
Hi,
Charlie.
Charlie, could you sing Adele for us tonight, please?
Oh, bless. But so event itself, funnily enough, obviously we'd been very clear with rulings and stuff. We had following the philosophy earlier. We mentioned earlier where we're going to come over and give you a ruling. Check your book first. Check your. I think you're supposed to talk to your opponent first. And the amount of people where I'd come over and they'd ask me a question, I'd go, "Have you checked your rule book?" And I'd go, "Oh no, no. check your fucking rulebook.
Yeah.
Oh, okay then, okay. Like, obviously, like the ones I said, oh, if it's am I in cover or not, or am I in range or not, or am I lying? It's like, fine, I'll get on over, I'll check, that's fine. I can answer those ones. But if it's a rules question, at least check yourself first. God's sake. There was one where, and the team will remain nameless, where they called me over and asked me for a ruling. I can't even remember what the ruling was. But I had my rulebook in my hand, and I pulled the rulebook out, and I went, there's your answer. And the opponent went, no, that's wrong. It's in the FAQ. And I was like, but I've got my rulebook here. It's like, yeah, but it's FAQ. I was like, if you know it's in the FAQ, why the fuck have you pulled me over? At that point, his captain leaned in and apologised and went, yeah. Oh god. Oh, it's all fun and games.
It is. It's all fun and games.
Yeah. So, the other TOing bit. Shall we get into the top topic? Shall we get into the spicy bit?
Oh.
Do I have like that's... There we go. Because, like every good WTC, we had drama. This year's drama was surrounding slow play. So, Alan, before we begin, give us your best definition of what slow play is, please.
For
the class.
I'm just passing it. Audrey's just walked in, so she'll give me some water. That's why you have children, right?
Yeah, just personal servants, and waiters. Yeah.
Is she not going to compete at the WTC next year?
Well, she won't be doing GCSEs, so she's going to try and play more tournaments and see if she can qualify.
Yeah.
So
slow play. Yeah, slight tangent. It's deliberately playing your dice slowly to get a benefit. Generally because you're ups in dice or whatever points at that point, stopping your opponent counterattacking.
Yeah. It's I'm currently winning. We've got 20 minutes on the clock left. If the game was to end now, I would win. Therefore, I'm going to do whatever I can to slow the game down so that I can win.
Yeah, make sure.
And you know what? It's one of the hardest things to police ever. Because you can't read minds, you can't go into someone's brain and go, are you actually slow playing? Are you actually deliberately trying to be slow? Or are you just thinking about your game and stuff? And we've been really, really clear. We had the same ruling we had last year for the WC, which is if you think you are being slow played, you need to talk to your opponent and say, hey, you need to speed up. I think you're slow in playing me. You need to make it known to your captain. You need to call a TO over so that we can go over and say, hey, what's going on? And then we can monitor the table. We can even sit there and pull dice out the bag for them and go, come on, get a move on. You know, there's things that we can do like that. That was our policy. And actually, throughout the entire weekend, we did not get a single TO calling, neither from me, neither from Spurlie, neither from Lars. We were never called over for a single slow playing accusation. Not one. I think we had 3 separate people who came up and told us the fact.
Yeah.
You know, over lunch break, so like, oh yeah. Anyway, I got slow played. I did. Oh, okay then. Well, what do you want us to do about it now? Game's over. Time's up. We're too far gone. You know, you can't do something about it.
Yeah.
Once the results are in, and once both captains have signed that form in, what do you want me to do? Yeah. Now the problem is this, and this is another thing. And I'll get to that point anyway. Anyway, it all came to a head because we also had a strict dice down policy, which was when the timer runs out, your dice are down. You stop mid-activation. You roll no more dice. The game is paused. End it there.
Job done.
That was it.
Game over.
We had a bit, and that was in the living FAQ. That was communicated in the pack. That was communicated on the
captain's chat.
In the captain's chat, we was all very clear on it. And I know as TOs, me, Spurlie, and Lars, we had debated it before, and which one was the right way of doing it. And we thought that was the cleanest way of doing it. I know some events, a lot of events will do, especially a lot less, let's say, time-sensitive events would do finish your last order. But again, there's merits and pros and cons to that because, well, what if you're doing a snap? What if that order is blah, 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 etc. We just thought, right, dice down.
Yeah.
Done. All came to a head because the last game on the top table that may have decided the entire event ended under those circumstances. Dice down, shit, I was just about to finish my go, which could have, we obviously don't know, could have killed a unit, could have brought a loss to a draw to a win, could have swung the entire game. Now, there's lots of chats going online. There's been lots of talk about online because obviously it's the top table. It was quite public. It was quite well. I mean, you can go and have a look. You can go and see online what have you. You can go and watch the video because luckily we streamed it.
Yeah.
And there was accusations of slow playing flying around. Oh, I would have had time to finish this. I wouldn't have been timed out if I hadn't been slow played, etc. Again, just to reiterate it from our perspective. At no point were we called over, even though we were walking around and monitoring that table because hey, it's the top table and you can see on the camera. Spurlie was there, I was there, Lars was there. At no point were we called over. And this is the thing: it's really difficult for us to stand up 2, 3, 4 meters away from a table, look on it and go, "Is he being slow played?" That's not. It's hard when you're playing the game to make that decision, let alone if you're TOing it. Yeah. And we weren't called, and the one person accused us of being called over and then ignoring the call, which I took that personally. We checked the footage. That didn't happen at all.
Never happened.
I tell you what, we was called over. You know, for the top table. Here's a bit of trivia for you. For the top table, I was asked the question: TO, yeah. What's a 5 on the superficial chart?
Well, I could tell you if you want to know.
It's fucking immobilised, you dickhead.
Yeah, it's immobilised.
What are you asking me for?
I'd actually have to look it up because the superficial chart.
I know the superficial chart better than.
Table. You're at the top table of the WTC playing for the fucking championship, and you call a TO of a basic rule. Check the goddamn rules. But this is the thing, from my perspective, right? You'll call me over for that, but you won't call it over when you think the guy's slow playing you. You know, and I heard, but I didn't want to call the TO over because we was running out of time. I knew it would take time up, and it's like, of course it would take time up, but we are TOs. We have the power to extend time. We have the power to do things and make changes. But if you don't give us the opportunity to get involved, what do you expect from us?
Yeah.
So it's a really tricky one. It's a really difficult one. I generally feel bad for Bo because he got so fucking close to winning, and you know what? I've been there, and it fucking sucks. Yeah. And afterwards, I generally tried to talk and be like, "Hey, man, he didn't want to talk to me. He was living with the whole situation. You know what?
No.
Fair to you, mate. I've been there. I've done my fair share of having to go and storm off and touch grass in these situations. So,
yeah,
you know." And you know what? And congratulations to Christoph and the rest of Poland, right? You know, as from our TO team perspective, you guys won. Yeah. You are the champions. Well done. Happy WTC to you. Really, really freaking close. And you know what? Sometimes it comes down to that. We England back in Grenada lost out on a championship by what was it? A 2+ dice roll or something ridiculously close.
Yeah.
It's just the way cookie crumbles sometimes. It is what it is. But I don't know. What's your thoughts on the whole thing, Alan?
I mean, I finished 5 of my 6 games. The one I didn't finish was opponent. I played 3 times now. He overthinks everything, so he is a slow player, but he's not doing it for game because he's done it in all 3 games, and I've won 2 and he's won 1. So he does it even when he's losing. So it is just how he plays, and I know that. It's impossible to judge. I mean, I know once at a WoW game, I sat there going, if I slow play this, I will win this game, but I didn't. I just couldn't bring myself to do it. So it's easy enough to do, but you have to make that choice. But as an opponent, can you prove it?
No, yeah, and it's especially if you're in a position where you've just lost the game, right? It's really difficult for you to go, oh, I lost because of mistakes I've made. It's so much easier to go, well, actually, you slow played me, that's why I lost. Whereas actually, either way, you ran out of time, the models were where they were. It is what it is. I mean, we've spoken episodes past about in the Jugger podcast where people ask us, how do you combat slow playing? My answer's always been, get yourself in a position where you're always winning. So if the game does end, you've already won. Therefore, let other people catch up with you, not that you need to catch up with them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in fact, it is what it is.
I lost the game at 3 Good Men because I didn't hear the calls from the TO. And I was really surprised when I was told it was last dice. I was like, what? But I was just going to move a couple of units onto objectives. And I was grumpy as heck afterwards, apologised for my opponent at the time. And then Paul Wickens, of all people, just sat me down, talked me through it, and just gave me some tips of what he does to make sure he doesn't miss those. And it was great. We all have those moments.
Yeah, and we try as much as we can. We had the halftime buzzer. In the hall, the buzzer went off at halftime, which you were halfway through the game. You had the time clock up, so you could see. Oh look, I've got 10 minutes left. And also the thing is, when you're playing a game, when you're at the spicy end of the game, if it's really really close and there's 10 minutes to go, that is naturally when you start thinking about what you want to do, right? Because the game is so close, you don't want to throw it by making a mistake at last minute. So things are naturally going to take longer. And also, say if you've cocked up, right, and there's 10 minutes to go, you've made a mistake, and oh shit, you need to catch up now. Suddenly your mind's going to be racing at 1,000,000 miles an hour. You're going to be going, oh shit, I need to catch up, So suddenly you're going faster, but from your perception, it's like everyone else is slowing down because they don't have that same sense of urgency as you do. So it's just the mind's really crazy about, and it's trying to, enforce who's doing what when.
Yeah.
It's difficult. Also, I will say, frankly, at this point, slow playing is like what footballers are to diving, right? Because everyone's doing it and everyone's moaning about everyone else doing it, and it drives me up the wall because it's almost like Team A moans at Team B for slow playing, Team B moans at Team C for slow playing, and Team C moans at Team A for slow playing. And actually, can you all just stop accusing each other of all doing the same thing?
Yeah.
Either there's an entire international conglomerate of Bolt Action slow players, or you're all just, you're all just pointing fingers at everyone else doing the same thing that you're apparently also doing. What do you want to do about it?
Yeah.
But I say we had no actual TO calls, and we only had 3 people who specifically actually said, I think I was slow played, again, after the fact. And yet, if you went on the... So 120 times 6 games? So out of nearly 700 games of Bolt Action that were played, we've only had 3 potentially late accusations of slow play. I'll take that as a pretty good percentage, really. So I know there's been a lot of talk about potential fixes for slow play, particularly chess clocks has come up, as it always does. Yeah. Every single time you have something like this, someone always comes out and goes, what about chess clocks? Yeah, it doesn't even matter what game you're playing, whether you're playing Bolt Action, 40k, Old World, War Machine. Chess clock, man. Chess clocks. Fix everything. What's your thought of chess clocks?
I've never used it, so I have no strong opinions either way.
Yeah.
But I think every fix will bring its own problems, because already the things I've seen on the internet are going, well, if it's on my dice and I'm asking a question, does that come off... And my opponent asks a question when it's on my dice, does that come off my type? You've got to make up rules. There will always be those moments.
Yeah.
I'm not averse to chess clocks, but at the same time, it will bring different problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, my perspective is, and before anyone jumps down my throat, this is not a ruling on what we're going to do next year. These are just my raw thoughts on it, right? So future Toph can deal with this problem when someone says, oh, you said this back then, which is, yes, there are communities in Europe that do play chess clocks. Not everybody plays chess clocks by a large margin. Those who do are obviously louder about it, but for every one player who's like, yeah, chess clock, woohoo, you've got probably 10 players who are like, what? Chess clocks? And some people have said, oh, what if we only got the top 10 tables? What if we only got top 5 tables? What if we only did the top table? Blah, 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 blah. Actually, I would like to keep things as clean as possible. Either you do it or you don't do it. And if you do it, a lot of people need to be brought up to speed on how to work it. As I say, lots of questions stuff. And this is a game where I have to teach people how to use cover. All right? The amount of questions we already get on just playing Bolt Action, I don't think I'm prepared to necessarily add all of these extra questions and complications about slow playing clocks. And frankly, the slow playing clock, if we brought them all on, at least for the first year, would heavily favour those who are already using them.
Yes.
Not the people who aren't using them, because they have to then learn something new. Is that necessarily fair? The question for that is open. But I don't think it's, as I said, it's not the It's not the quick fix that people think it is. It just raises more questions that we need to answer. Maybe there are answers, maybe there's not. But it's not as simple as, oh yeah, we'll just do chest clocks.
Yeah, let's just do it.
Another thought, and Phil said this on the Thomas podcast, so I'm going to quote you, Phil, because it was an amazing point, which is, so they do chess clocks at like the Spanish Masters and stuff like that, and a lot of obviously the European players go there, they play with chess clocks, woohoo, yeah, great, no issues ever. If you can play in Spain at the Masters and finish your game with your 25 dice list with a chess clock, why can you not do it without a chess clock? Maybe all your players with your 25 dice list need to just stop fucking about and actually finish your games. And before someone says, oh, it's not me, that guy, again, from our perspective, everyone's accusing everyone of doing it, right?
Yeah.
So who of you? So from us, it doesn't matter who we're talking about. We're all doing it or not. Also, just going to say in the CO pack, we just said make sure that people play lists that you can comfortably finish in the allocated time. That was clearly ignored by about 80% of people. I heard one person who, when a week beforehand they were practicing for the WTC and they were saying, oh, I can only get my games finished in 3 hours, so I'm still training to try and bring my time down. Sorry, you brought the wrong list.
Yeah, that's too late.
You brought the wrong list because you knew exactly how long you had to play.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm being a bit flippant about it. Maybe I'm kind of just like I should accept more responsibility. But at some point, what problem is this yours to resolve rather than the TO's to resolve? I don't know. Yeah. I don't think dice caps are the answer either. Like, I don't think there is any. I don't think there's any solution really.
No.
I think
even bringing points limits down, you will still see people not finishing games.
I do think there's an argument to bring the points limit down. I do think 1250 is probably a bit big. I think we probably went a bit too big this year.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying don't do it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's not gonna.
It won't solve it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna solve the problem.
Yeah.
We won't go next year and say we have 30 teams again, 120 games or whatever it was. They're not all going to finish. So 60 games.
We have that in our own tournaments. You know, not X steps back and mincemeat and stuff. It doesn't matter how much time you give them. There'll always be people who don't finish.
Yeah.
You know, and actually, again, part of being a good bolt action player is acknowledge that maybe the game doesn't finish. So maybe I need to make sure I prepare my army and get it in such a way that if the game does finish early, I still win. Yeah. Don't know. I'm probably going to get some hatred for this. So please send all of your junk mail to my name is alan@gmail.com. And then you can monitor my emails for me, Alan. Thank you.
That's fine. Yeah, I won't have any access to that. That's great. Do it.
Juggernaut Alan at Google.com. I don't freaking know. Whatever.
Not a juggernaut, remember?
Yeah. He may have a polo, but he's not one.
Yeah, he may have the polo and come to every single one of our events.
He's now on our podcast as well.
Becoming 8th.
Alan, I see you more than a significant number of my family, and that's not by accident, my friend.
I said we see Alan probably more than a significant number of people that are actually part of our club. You know?
Yeah, that's depressing, but you're right. Yeah. There you go, Alan. I hope that makes you feel special.
Yeah.
A little
bit. There you go. I think it says more about our friendship group than
I mean, it's better than how you recruited me to the England setup in the first place.
I can't remember how I did that. Wasn't it just kind of
you went on this
you do it?
Long rant about all the people who could do it, and right at the end you went, Alan Wells, you're not bad. You went, you're good. Alan, you're okay.
The system works.
That's fantastic.
The system works. There's evidence here. You've come to 3 WTCs now. You're probably going to make it a 4th.
Yeah.
4 WTCs. 4 about to make it a 5th.
3 for England.
There we go. So on the whole, I think it was quite successful. I was saying on the day when people were asking me how do you think it's going, WTC is there's always like a bit of drama. There's always a bit of an issue. They're always resolved for the next year, and then something else always comes up. It's the 2 steps forward, 1 step back approach. You're slowly making progress, slowly, and we brought on a boatload of notes and feedback and everything for next year. We'll bring it all on board. We're going to make some new mistakes next year. Be fine.
Yeah,
we'll fix that too. But on the whole, I think it went okay. I think it went all right. 99.9% of people shook my hand at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And said goodbye. No one punched me on the way out. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I
think that's only because Bo couldn't bear to look at you. So
fair. As I say, I've been there. I understand the rage and the hatred.
Yeah.
Not vice versa from Bo, but just from being in the situation where you come close and then lost. Yeah, I get that. But yeah, I think I'm down for running next year. So we're running next year, Spurlie?
Yeah. Whenever we get the dates, certainly, yeah.
Yeah. And the location. We still don't know where we're going.
Yeah.
So, where would you like to go, Alan?
Yeah.
We'll give Dave some pointers on where we should go.
I really enjoyed Copenhagen. Great
Yeah.
place to go. Very expensive city, but it is what it is. I just like going somewhere else. I've done Granada. I mean, the only place I wouldn't want to go back to was Sheffield. So
that was shit. It's really frustrating that the England WTC was so crap, because we as a country did not put our best foot forward. Do you know what I mean? Like, people who came from abroad must have come and gone, "Is this it?" And it's like, no, that's not it. That's a shit place. We have so much nicer venues and places we could have gone.
I am grateful John Ross took the American teams on a tour of all the really interesting British museums, because they at least saw the best part of our country.
Yeah. Down suburbs of Sheffield was in a shit Hilton that's closed a month later was not a good look. I guess it's like going to Detroit in America and being like, look at this, and then being like, that's
no, because even Detroit's got quite a history, hasn't it? Whereas Sheffield,
yeah, but Sheffield's got a history.
No, Sheffield, you've got stainless steel, and you've got the full Monty.
Yeah.
Same thing.
It's the birthplace of Def Leppard.
There wasn't even any snooker on while we were there, was there? So they couldn't even go to the Crucible.
Sorry, I'm going to raise you. Sean Bean, Sheffield, born and bred.
Okay. Is there a blue plaque on his house?
Probably, I don't know. Maybe.
But if the Crucible was free, why didn't we play there? That would have been a much better venue.
Oh, we'll put that to David.
I think why didn't we? To be fair, I think why didn't we just go to Firestorm Games? Go to Cardiff.
They wouldn't have fit
in Wales.
I don't think.
It's not very English.
Yeah, but he wouldn't do it now. He's doing all the free games in one day again. But back then he would have.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, have the Welsh host it, because frankly, I love Firestorm. Firestorm's a great venue.
Wales is just a beautiful country. To be fair, we should all go. We should all spend more time in Wales.
I'll tell you what, Toph. Do you want to go this weekend?
This weekend?
Yeah, this weekend. Let's go Wales.
We're not going to Wales, dude. We're going about 5 miles from the border in Shrewsbury.
I thought we were just over the border.
Shropshire. No, we're on the wrong side by about. We could probably walk there.
I'm sure we could see. Isn't it like the top of the hill then? It's like
whatever. I don't know. But yeah, any closing thoughts for WTC stuff?
I mean, so I've done 4. Overall, I prefer Granada because I love the hotel, everyone in it together.
I missed that.
The Granada ones is best. But the gaming, the venue for the actual hall, I mean, I love the basketball clock. That really, really helped. But that hall and all the gaming stuff, that was my best WTC. I just prefer Granada as an experience.
Yeah. I did miss as not all being in the same hotel. I understand why it happens. Again, it's pros and cons, right? But the thing is like, obviously the Saturday night, you guys all left. We're busy sorting stuff out, blah, 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 blah. We didn't even get out of there till, 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And then on the Sunday, you guys all go. We're in the midst of cleaning up. I had to go around litter picking because all you Bolt Action players were the most disgusting of all the players of the entire event. Middle Earth and Star Wars Legion were cleanly and delicious compared to you lot. The amount of shit you all left on the floor. I had to go around picking it all up. So we didn't get out of there till was that about 10 o'clock at night as well? Where at that point we just kind of messaged the England lot, where are you? And then it turns out you was in some shit pizza place, and we just randomly got an Uber and wrapped up as it all ended. And then me and Spurlie like, finally, we get to experience Copenhagen and celebrate properly. at like 11 o'clock on a Sunday night. So we just got absolutely fucking wrecked.
We went to went to an Irish
went to
bar.
karaoke.
Yeah, we went to the Irish bar first until they kicked us out, and then karaoke till 3 o'clock in the morning, and then we got a Danish staple of Burger King on the way back to the hotel. So
and then we did the walk of shame back in the hotel.
Past the Star Wars TOs were leaving to go and get their flight.
And they're like, "What are you doing here?" And we're like, just walking in with my whole bag of half-eaten Burger King. No. Yeah. You know what? You know when we was in that karaoke bar? Do you know what freaking Carrick requested? Vindaloo.
Yeah.
Why are we singing Vindaloo in a freaking Danish karaoke bar? It's like, could you make us any more stereotypical British tourists than we already were?
Classy Carrick.
And then I'm sitting there in all of my tournament regalia, looking looking minging with my backpack on, because we literally went with my laptop in it, because we went straight from the freaking venue like Vindaloo.
You looked much happier than that, Toph, because you were smashed as well. So
I was to be fair, I thought we was just gonna have a few.
Yeah.
And then Alex, bless his cotton socks, brought an entire tray of Sambuca shots. I was like, oh, that's nice.
And then
I was like, well, no, I didn't.
Didn't
Alex, I don't like Sambuca. Can you get me one like some rum instead? And he brought out another tray of full Sambuca shots, except one of them was rum, and I had the rum one. And then James was like, hey, I want to have some rum. So then he brought a full tray of shots out, which were all rum. And at that point, we were all just freaking wrecked. Alan took the smart move and went home.
I've noticed a consistent theme with James, actually, because when we met up at Bournemouth on the Friday night in Spoons, when James got there, the first thing he did was he went to the bar and then came and joined us at the table with a tray of shots.
I love James. England people that you're going to tournaments stuff. If you ever get a chance to have a drink with James BT, just go and put a penny in him. Pull a penny in him. Pull the slot. You will get a story. It's amazing.
If I'm right, it's only 52 weeks ago was his first competitive tournament.
Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
At Battle of Britain last year.
Yeah, he came third.
Yeah, that was his first, hoo-ha. And then this year he's gone to the WTC.
And got his absolute arse smashed in.
Did he?
Absolutely destroyed, yeah.
How did he do?
No, I think he won two. I think he won 2, lost 4 or something. It wasn't great, but he had a great time. So who cares?
He came
84th.
He came 84th.
You have more fun.
Came 84th.
What's that?
2 wins.
84th.
2 wins, 4 losses.
There you go.
And he had a higher strength of schedule, 10.17. So he actually.
That's not high.
What was the highest strength of schedule then?
11.
Oh.
Yeah, so it wasn't exactly low either, what he had.
Yeah, but I had 10.83, hence my point.
At this point, because I know Lars has been playing around with score sheets and rankings and getting all the scores in from the other WTCs and playing them all together. At this point, can I say that rankings are bullshit? It's just stupid. It's great for bragging rights, but don't take it seriously.
But what I would say on the whole ranking thing is, if you look at the England 2 team, I was top, and I think I'm 49th, depending on if Lars changed the order again.
No, you're still there, 49.
I was top of the 4 of us, but we still came at the same level because we were all consistent. We all got the key point at some point, which got us a team win. So that's why we came 10th overall. Yeah. So I was the best player on 3 and 3. That's not a great score, my personal best, but it'll do.
The WTC, it's fine. This is the thing. You're playing a team event in a team environment where some people get the bad matchups, some people get thrown under the bus. Some people, I lost 2 games, but those 2 games were against the 2, potential best players in the world. Blah 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 blah. It's not a normal ranking system. You can't sit there and go, "Oh, I'm number 1. I'm great." Yeah, you've won every game because you played at the bloody wooden spoon the entire tournament. It's ridiculous.
But Charlie obviously got it right as a captain in that we got the team wins. And we did well. I mean, my 3 losses were players in the top 15. So
can't argue with that.
I'll take it.
Yeah. That's Charlie. A couple of times I came over, I was like, "You okay?" And he was like, Yeah. Just a
I enjoyed not
lot.
being captain.
You know what? I don't think a lot of people enjoy being captain. I think you have to be a certain kind of crazy person to really love it and keep coming back to doing it.
I've talked to Charlie since then, and one of the big things that we've come is because both Mike and I had been captains before, we knew what to say to him when he needed someone to say something to him.
Yeah, captain's curse. Yeah, bless him. Don't worry, Charlie. You can always come join me as a TO. Lots of fun up here. Promise. Yeah. You get to work ridiculously long hours for no pay, and you don't even get to go out drinking with your friends afterwards. We do on the Sunday.
But you do get to spend time with us, so...
Yeah. You just priorities, prioritise Spurlie over everyone else. That's what I've done.
There you go. Greg said he'll come back to the WTC, but only as a captain. So,
What sort of fucking arrogant shit is that? Oh, I'll only come back if I get to be in charge. Fuck you, man. No.
I might be paraphrasing.
That's exactly the opposite of what he said.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Yeah.
Well, I do know. So, although I'm technically still England rep, because obviously I'm TOing, I've kind of handed a lot of that stuff off to Alex. So Alex has got some ideas to changing up the qualifying for the England teams for next year. I don't know what his ideas are yet. He's just told me he has some ideas. So we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. So if you want to come back to it WC next year, by all means, get planning now, because it won't be long until it all comes back round again.
Yeah.
You've offended Greg Spurlie.
I always my mere existence offends Greg at times, I'm sure. So
Spurlie and Handsome Spurlie are kind of anti-matter and matter anyway. The moment they
I think
close, they just implode. So
my existence annoys him, because as soon as he's like, the first time he's ever come, they've all just gone, "Oh, you're Handsome Spurlie," and nobody knew his actual name for about 2.5 years. I don't think in our lot. So. Yeah, I can.
Such a weird word.
Yeah.
Anyway, Future Horizon. So other things we as the IGE are doing. We are running our first Conflict 47 event. I mean, not my first Conflict 47, but the IGE's first Conflict 47 event. So that is at the end of June at Sanctuary Games collabing with Warlord and stuff. So I'll be there. So have you brought your ticket, Alan? Are you going?
You know the answer to that. We've already had this conversation, though you were really hungover.
Okay, I think I've probably forgotten.
I'm sorry. No, I'm running an event myself that weekend, not a tabletop one, so I can't.
Ooh, exciting. No, that's a reasonable excuse.
Yeah, and it's a good venue. I played a Bolt Action event there. I do like the venue.
Yeah, Sanctuary's good. I remember it back when it was a church and it was freezing as shit, and then you was like, there's the good old days. Not now when everyone's got air conditioning. Gah. Yeah. Losers. And then afterwards, the singles world team, well, not world teams, just world singles event that we're running in Aalborg, which is in October, I believe.
Yeah, because that was the date I was checking. we were expecting. Yeah.
Has that changed, or is it still when it was mentioned?
24th and 25th of October, as it stands. So, yeah, tickets aren't for sale yet, I don't believe. So
no, they're not. They're not up yet. We've not written a pack yet, but the date's locked in.
Well, it's locked in our calendars.
Yeah. So we need to try and get some annual leave off work for that one, but we'll watch the space. We'll work that bit out. But yeah, basically, it's like WTC, but you don't have to rely on free friends. You can be an arsehole and have no friends and still go and have fun. It's great.
So Corey, this is Corey's opportunity to turn up, go 6-0, as he does, and actually win the thing,
and not get dragged down by his team.
Yeah, not get dragged down by Alan and Ken. No offense, guys.
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you.
I mean, also, let's be fair, that's how Felix got involved in it.
Yeah.
He turned up to the singles in Granada.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Which is astonishing that he hadn't been recruited beforehand because he's such a good player.
Yeah.
Also,
he just appeared out of nowhere. Felt like
Felix is potentially, and this is, no, I'm going to say it, strong statement, potentially the nicest person in Bolt Action.
Yeah, legit.
Yeah.
There's no. I'd happily let him beat my ass. I'd be like, Love you, Felix. Though the amount of times he pulled me over, freaking TO rulings, man, he was on my watch list. Literally every 5 minutes. Don't, fuck off. Shit, read a rule book.
There was you had one ruling with him, didn't you, where the whole thing and you went round in a circle and it actually meant nothing in context of their game in the end.
You know those times when you and your opponent are arguing about the same thing, but because of translation issues, you both think the other person's coming up with the opposite answer. They had one of those moments, and then the TO came over and then joined in, and then all three of them all think the other people are all wrong, and you sit down having a 20-minute debate until the end. It's like, no, that is what the rule is. Oh, then what are we doing this for? So this is why people need to read their rule books. Don't get me involved. Busy man. Got to walk around with my microphone and not pressing the on button properly and then talking and thinking people can hear me when they can't. Or the opposite, having a conversation, accidentally pressing it on and everyone can hear. That's the other thing that happens.
Yeah.
Look, we got a nice picture out of it all. There we go. That's the exciting bit. We've got some nice pictures and some good times were had. Right. Any final thoughts before we go on to the Hobby Lobby, before we can end it?
Oh, I've not even thought about Hobby Lobby. Ugh, no.
I can't even remember what my pledge was.
I have done Hobby, so that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've done some hobby. What hobby have you done?
I've painted an entire Imperial Fist army.
No, you've not. No, you're not. You borrowed my already painted Imperial Fist army.
Oh, okay. Well, it's new to me. Yeah.
So, okay, dear listener, I guess Alan, because you're new to this as well. So this year we're going for my mate's stag do. Well, it's technically his second stag do, but his first stag do went so badly, it was like, we need a rerun of it. This is how we do things as friends group. We have booked a cabin in the middle of fuck nowhere in Shropshire, and we're all going to go and have a Horus Heresy campaign.
We're 2.2 miles from the Welsh border. I've looked it up.
2.2 miles from the Welsh border.
Basically in Wales. Basically in Wales.
It's one of those places where half the journey is just getting to be 4 miles away, and the other half of the journey is those last 4 miles because you're going up and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we're doing a 30k campaign weekend. We're all doing really fluffy. We've all built and painted our armies over the last year because it's all been in the calendar. Spurlie is borrowing my army because he doesn't play 30k. That's fine. How many games have you played, Spurlie?
I've played 2 turns.
2 turns of 1 game, yeah.
Yeah.
How much have you read the rulebook, Spurlie? Because you took it you borrowed my rulebook, so I'm assuming you've actually read it because you borrowed it.
I've read the front page.
And when do we leave? When do we leave?
Friday
lunchtime.
Friday lunchtime.
Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, and out of all of Games Workshop games, would you say that 30k is probably the most complicated, potentially? It's easy. He doesn't know because he's not read the book. He's not played the game. He won't be able to tell you. I can assure you, it's probably the shittest written rules of all of them. So,
well, if it's written,
why we do these things,
if it's written as procedurally as you say it is, it'll actually probably be really easy for me to follow.
No, the 30k rulebook is an autist wet dream. Do you know what I mean? It's literally it's a technical document. It's an awful rulebook.
Well, that's fine then. That's fine.
But my Hobby Lobby has been preparing for that because I've painted a shitload of terrain for it, and I've been painting tanks. Look, there you go. If you can see the stream, that is a tank that I painted. Look, it's all white and blue because it's World Eatery. There you go.
I did finish off 6 Italian paracadutisti.
Paracaduski? Yeah.
Paratroopers. There we go. Yeah, Italian paratroopers. Yeah. 6 of them. Done.
I've also been painting some Conflict 47. I've got the new Warlord gave us the new plastics for the new machine gun crews and stuff. So that's the Pack 40, and that's the machine gun team stuff. I've decided to Conflict 47. Really lovely kits. Really, really lovely. I'm a bit upset that they've only just released plastic artillery guns now because I have so many of the shitty metal ones, and I'm like, I kind of want to replace them all now with nice plastic ones. But that's like money and time and effort.
Do it now.
No, we'll see. So that's all in the pipeline. But they're really nice kits. Really, really nice kits. Because you buy your infantry box, buy 1 or 2 of the heavy weapons brews, and then you're done. You're sorted. What you been working on, Alan? Anything nice? Anything weird and wonderful?
Took a break after the WTC, and I'm trying to reinvent what I want to do bolt action wise. So
you do seem to be having a bit of a midlife crisis, don't you?
I am totally having a midlife crisis on it.
Yeah.
I have a couple of ideas. I've had a long chat with Alex, and we've come up with something which is wacky, out there, and different, which I will probably take to the Welsh Nationals.
Is it something the internet thinks won't work?
It's British, of course. No one's going to take that.
So literally, you're just going to start your British army and play British as everyone else is going, ooh, Commonwealth.
Is that not me?
That is
Yeah, it's
entirely,
100%.
that is entirely you. Yeah, that is entirely you. Yeah, I don't even know why I said what I said, to be honest. You'll have
I'm
fun
still
with it.
waiting for the South African rules, as I have a South African army. But,
Yeah, so when Kieran was at WC, Kieran came with a copy of Commonwealth book that we were allowed to read and no one else was. So I was very happily being very smug about it to everyone over the weekend. Like,
I heard a lot.
Yeah, I will say that obviously I've not had the best time with V3 for reasons I don't need to go into. We've covered it episodes in past. So I'm, I like conflict. I'm still dabbling in etc. But I'm looking forward to V4. That being said, that Commonwealth book is the most exciting thing to come out so far for this edition. I'll say that. It's all very, very exciting. Like, obviously they've shown you little bits of what's coming through in the Warlord articles. Mate, you wait till you see the book. It's actually tempted me to maybe get my Australians out again.
That's fair. I mean, I looked at the Australian rules, went, because logically you're going to get Italian Dakar tanks because historically I had them. So there's a list there that I can see that working really nicely.
Yeah, and also because they're just blokes with rifles with hats and shorts on, they might even change nationality the odd occasion. We'll see.
You mean your white Indians of history?
Yes. South Africans have got jungle. There's jungle in Africa. Go away, loser.
Yeah, but the jungle is massive.
Play my game.
Yeah, the jungle is massive.
Jungle is massive.
Yeah.
Alan, you'd just be happy to see me at tournaments again. You wouldn't give a shit what models I'm using.
Yeah, I would be happy to see you at tournaments.
There you go. To be fair, I'm just waiting for the French book to come out because I love my French models. I never really gave them a decent run in, so that's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, that's fair. I've got my free French. No, I'm definitely keen on that.
Yeah, that'll be exciting times.
Also, one wants to know more about Conflict 47, about the tournament. Can you tell them more? Somebody's just said they want to know more about Conflict 47.
I'm reminding off the top of my head. So I didn't actually read the pack. Warlord did. So I'm sorry if I got it wrong. I believe it's 1,500 points. I believe there's an 18 dice limit, which, to be fair, in Conflict 47, 18 dice is so big that you're never going to reach that anyway.
Yeah.
It's just a 1 day event, but it is in Sanctuary Games in Mansfield, just north of Nottinghamshire. It's you can get the tickets on the Sanctuary Games website, so just type in Sanctuary Games Conflict 47 event. It'll probably come straight up.
I'm going to send them the link, There we go.
Send in the link. But it's 1 day event, but Warlord are heavily pushing it as, woo, this is our GT, ooh, it's exciting. So actually, funny story. So if you work with Dave at the IG like me and Spurlie have, you'll know that Dave operates on what I'd like to call vibes. And he has lots and lots of vibes, because we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this. Okay, Dave, okay. Tell me when you have a date, and it's locked in, and then I can plan my life, but until then, enjoy your vibes. And that's fine, we work well. We work well together, good. So I went to Warlord HQ for one of their Conflict 47 tournaments just a few weeks ago, and I walked in, and Kieran goes, oh, hi, Toph. I've got your pack ready, I'm going to email it to you. Sorry, what?
Yeah.
What pack? What you talking about? Oh, for the event that you're running later on at the end of June. What event am I running at the end of June? The one that Dave said you're running. Okay then, that's okay. Sure, whatever. I'll talk to Dave later. Whatever. Play for the event. Blah blah blah. That's great. And then during the end of day chat. Oh, thank you for coming. Blah blah blah. Kieran goes, right, and everyone, Warlord, we're running an event at Sanctuary Games at the end of June. It'd be great if you all come. And then he points at me because this man's running it because his boss said so. What do you mean, my fucking boss? Dave is not my boss. Point. I go home. I'm chuntering. I ring Spurlie up. Spurlie, you'll never guess what's happened. So I have to get Spurlie on board as well. Me and Spurlie go, right, let's not interrupt Dave with this conversation now. He's just planning the WTC. We'll ambush him while we're there in person, and he can't squirm out of it. How he's signing up to events and not telling us. Anyway, it turns out we had the conversation because I was on the phone with Dave anyway, and he mentioned it. I was like, "Oh, so when was you going to tell us about it?" Blah, blah, blah. And he kind of went, he had an "oh shit" moment. And then when I pointed out that Kieran had said that he's my boss, I've never heard Dave apologise so quickly in his life. It's like he just realised the grenade was about to go off and he couldn't get the pin back in quick enough.
Yeah.
So, it turns out I'm running it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as I say, and it was, here's your pack. I'm like, okay. So we'll look. It'll be a great day. It'll be 3 games of Conflict 47. You'll get a prize at the end.
Yeah. Ticket sales. Can't tell you about ticket sales. We don't know.
Good time.
List check-in. We ain't doing that. Someone else's problem.
Yeah, but at least it's as long if you build your list with the app, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong. There we go. Speaking of Conflict 47, have you seen the leaks that are coming from UK Games Expo for the new Japanese stuff?
Oh, it's not even leaks. It's on pre-order now.
Okay, so there's a Japanese special character who's a swirly wordy ghosty dude, and he's got like 3 bodyguards with him who are also swirly. They're ghosty, half in and out reality. They've also the plastic Ghost Warrior kit, and they've got like stabby weapons as well.
Yeah, they look good.
Plus, they've released a really a platoon, Ghost Platoon. That is one that kind of confirms that yes, there's going to be a Ghost Platoon in the new USA book. Exciting, and also it looks very good value, so I might have to get myself a few.
Somebody's already run the numbers. It's like if you buy the box, it's 30% off. So.
And if you can get your local friendly gaming store to order it on your behalf, I know sometimes they're a bit funny about that. Ooh,
yeah.
Exciting times. Conflict where it is. Yeah, man. There we go. And we're going to a conflict event next Sunday, aren't we, Spurlie? 2 weeks today.
Yes, the 14th.
Well, I hope so, because you're the one who told me to put it in my calendar. So if you're not going, I'm fucked.
Yeah, the 14th. Yeah.
There we go. So if you're there at Warlord HQ, I will see you there. There we go. Right. Any closing thoughts before we want to go on? We don't have Dan with us today to make a joke, I'm afraid. No. Sorry. To be fair, I have a perfectly good joke that I can make again because I can click this button all day.
Alan! Ow!
In which case, I will say goodbye to you.
We'll say goodbye, good evening.
Goodbye. Alan! Bye, Alan! Bye, Alan! Alan, goodbye, Alan! Alan, bye-bye!
We've got... Big thanks to Alan. Even if
Thank you, Alan. Love you, Alan.
Cheers, Alan. Night all.
Cheers. Thanks,